drunk from the blood of the saints. Lilith, being the mother of vampires, this is fitting. The Whore of Babylon is also related to a city or location. This city has had relations with all the rich men of the earth and is a haven for demons. It is understood that this character or city currently rules the world and uses sorcery to do so. Hecate, also equated with Lilith, is the Greek triple goddess. She is the goddess of the crossroads, who is frequently depicted with 3 heads, one of a dog, one of a snake, and one of a horse. This goddess is often associated with witchcraft and childbirth, and was accompanied by an owl during her travels. She is known as the Virgin Goddess, and is also reported to have a quote-unquote following of ghosts, and lives in the underworld with Hades, lord of the underworld. Another goddess related to Lilith is the Egyptian goddess Isis. Isis was the wife of Osiris and was responsible for Osiris's first resurrection. Isis is skilled at magic and especially intelligent. Isis, like Hecate, is a goddess of childbirth. It appears Isis, the widow of noble Osiris, is now the harlot, bride of Satan. Sekhmet, an Egyptian goddess who was among the most ancient of the gods, is also associated with both Lilith and Isis. Sekhmet is spoke of as being just as much a weapon as a goddess. At the behest of the god Ra, Sekhmet almost destroyed all of humanity. She was unable to halt her bloodlust and had to be tricked into desisting. She is symbolized by a lion-headed woman wearing red. She even has titles like the Scarlet Lady. In Rome, Lilith was known as Diana. Diana is a goddess of the hunt, the moon, and childbirth. She was also known as the Virgin Goddess. Artemis, the Greek equivalent of Diana, is also a goddess of the hunt, childbirth, the moon, and is also a virgin goddess. Artemis is also closely related to Selene, yet another moon goddess. In Hinduism, Lilith goes by the name Kali. Kali is a goddess identified with death, carnage, and the feminine principle. She is often called Mother Kali and the Mother Goddess, who is the consort of the god Shiva, the Destroyer. Kali is depicted as a naked woman with black skin, who wears a necklace of skulls and holds a bloody sword. Similar to the Babylonian account of Tiamat, Kali's body parts constitute the universe of space and time. The goddess Kali, along with her husband Shiva, roam the quote-unquote cremation grounds. This is a likely reference to the Qliphoth, or underworld. In the Persian narration, Az is the mother of demons and the consort of Ahriman, who is Satan. Semiramis, yet another name for this goddess, an Assyrian queen of legend, was reportedly the inspiration behind the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, also called the Hanging Gardens of Semiramis, are considered to be one of the 7 great wonders of the ancient world. The Hanging Gardens, which some speculate to date back to 600 BC, much more likely to be earlier, was a spectacular series of man-made terraces with flowing waters and lush growth on every platform. Queen Semiramis is said to be a harlot, a homewrecker, and a powerful sorceress. This personage is associated with the dove and, proper to the Virgin, was credited with the invention of the chastity belt. Semiramis became the patroness of Babylon when she restored the city to its ancient glory. Hades is the lord of the underworld. Although Greek mythology does not depict Hades as a villain, modern Satanists and a little common sense have confirmed to me that he is God's greatest enemy today. In Rome, he was known as Pluto, and the Hebrews knew him as Mot. In the Lovecraft mythos, he is Azagthoth, and to many occultists, he is called Chorazon. Just like Hades, who is considered both a character and a location, Chorazon is also considered a character and location. The Egyptians call this demon Apep. The Greeks and Christians know the location of Hades as Sheol, or the land of the dead, but the Hebrews knew it as Da'ath, and the author H.P. Lovecraft called it Yog-Sothoth. Hades is an incredibly powerful being, and is always described as formless. He is known as the guardian of the underworld, and is said to hold the key to the Qliphoth. This guardian of the abyss is considered mentally unstable and evil even by the worst magicians. This spirit is regarded as a devouring demon who seeks to steal the life force and sanity from all who cross his path. This entity's reputation for inducing insanity is legendary, for he is truly the embodiment of dispersion and chaos. His greed for collecting and retaining souls is insatiable. Hades is often depicted as more intelligent than his brother Zeus. This god waits in the abyss for the magician who seeks union with his guardian angel, so that in order to be transformed, the magician must master Chorazon. The abode of Chorazon is a dark place where those long dead gesture and stumble aimlessly, a place where hope is not to be found. Hades sided with Zeus and the other Olympians in the war against the Titans. In the night before a major battle between the Olympians and the Titans, Hades put on his quote-unquote helmet of darkness, which made him invisible, after which he crept into the enemy camp and destroyed the Titans' weapons. Hades has a wife named Persephone, who dwells with him in the underworld. With the Titans defeated, the three brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, divided creation between each other. Zeus ruled the heavens, Poseidon ruled the seas, and Hades would rule the underworld. And there, Hades rules today, upon a black throne. Even the worst magicians will recommend against invoking or evoking Hades, and even the skillful emphasize extreme caution. Hades is simply too chaotic and too powerful. His words are deceitful and full of evasion and misdirection. While evoked in ritual, he will seize upon the weaknesses of the sorcerer and instill madness in those who summoned him. He is sometimes titled the blind, idiot, or mad god, but this is not wholly accurate, because this being is no fool. After being condemned by God to rule the underworld, his growing madness has brought him from bad to worse. Hades, whose number is 333, is considered to be the biggest obstacle for the sorcerer who wishes to cross the abyss, because he guards the point between the two universes. This spirit is hot-tempered. He reacts hastily and violently to the slightest provocation. John Dee, the noted 16th century magician who was a spy for Queen Elizabeth I and the original 007, along with his partner, Sir Edward Kelly, referred to this being as Chorazon. They claimed that out of the 30 ethers, or 30 dimensions, the domain of Chorazon was to be found in the 10th ether, the dimension dubbed Zax. They also titled him He That Is Fallen, and even associated him with the leader of the Serpent from the Garden of Eden, who equated to the fallen angel Azazel Semyaza from the apocryphal book of Enoch. Aleister Crowley, who thought of himself as a reincarnation of Sir Edward Kelly, once attended an invocation of Chorazon. Crowley described this being as extremely deceitful and manipulative. He found Chorazon to be extremely unstable and incapable of concentrating his thoughts. Chorazon, who was said to be tortured by silence, would sometimes begin to argue and test the will of Crowley's partner. Chorazon claimed to have 1,000,000 voices in his head, which is why the demon is reported to be extremely talkative and moves from thought to thought quickly.